Hi, and in today's video, I'm going to share 3 ways to engage our children in our planning to improve our relationships.
Actually, do you know what? Let's scrap it all for a minute. Just talk to me about it. Tell me what the process is.
Well, the first piece is to actually engage them to create the structure for the
Okay.
planning. So, for example, one of the things we've got here is an annual clock for the 12 months.
Okay.
We use a calendar for a monthly planning, and we actually have a weekly planning sheet that actually has each of our names across the top, so we can actually put down on a weekly basis what we each have as a priority. Although, as obviously at the moment, our priorities are slightly skewed, aren't they? So
My question is going to be, so why are these 3 steps so important right now?
So these 3 steps are really important right now as we're locked down with our children and sharing everything that's going on in the house. But it's also a great time to put the foundations in place for how we want to move forwards. And no better time than when we are all together and we have the time and the opportunity to actually engage our children in an appropriate way to put the foundations in place. So the first step to engaging our children in our planning is actually to engage them in the creation of the planning structure. So, for example, when you're annual planning, one of the things we do here is we've got an annual clock, 12 dials on the clock for 12 months of the year, and within the each month we put down the key activities, but the kids have been involved in creating that structure. And on, for example, a weekly basis, we have a small weekly calendar with our names across the top, so we can actually write down the key tasks. So the key thing is to actually involve them in the creation of the structure itself and how we're going to monitor the planning moving forwards. So by involving the children, the one thing you get is buy-in, and actually a lot of fun. And they actually feel involved rather than where we start talking to them about, oh, we need to make sure that we do. We're going to be going here on holiday. This is how we're going to be sticking things on the fridge. This is what we're going to be monitoring. Actually, their involvement, they feel like they're shaping. But more than just that, I think one of the life skills that we teach our children by doing this is that actually planning is important, and that having a structure and a way of planning that works for them, because not all of us will plan annually or weekly or monthly in the same way, but planning in a way that works for them will give them focus on what's important and what their priorities are. The second step, after having created the structure for the planning, is to actually get our children to engage in the content, and that is for them to put into the plans elements that are important to them. Now, that goes from anything as to school trips, their birthdays, their friends' birthdays. It really doesn't matter what it is. It's important. The key bit is the importance of asking them to contribute and for them to feel like they're sharing and developing and building the planning structure that we are creating for ourselves as a family. By doing this with our children, there's a couple of benefits. One, I think from a parenting perspective, we get to understand what our children feel is important and valuable to them. I think sometimes we like to, or think we know what's important to them, and we do know a lot. But it's really great to hear from themselves what they believe is important. And secondly, I think they feel that the thing is they feel like they contribute. And therefore, when they commit to something on paper that they view as important, they will do it and they will take ownership for it, rather than being told this is what you need to do and this is what we are going to do. So the third step, after creating the structure and asking our children to contribute what's important to them, is to involve them in the decision-making process around some of the key activities for us as a family. So a good one is going on holiday, and that might be where we go on holiday, but more importantly, and I know would suggest with my children, for example, It's what the holiday needs to include. Now, that might be they'd love to be able to go swimming, they'd love to be able to go in the pool, they love to be able to go on rides. But it's important, I think, to get our children's perspective, so that we understand in the decision making, and they feel like they're listened to in the decision making, what's important to them. And of course, this is about being here is really, really where it becomes about engaging with them in an appropriate way. Because there are things that we don't want to talk to about, and we that's absolutely fine. But there are so many ways we can engage the children around anything that we want to do, which film we want to see on a weekly basis, what video, which DVD we want to watch, what pizza do we want to have when we're watching our DVDs. There are so many ways we can engage our children on our key activities, whether it be an annual, monthly, or weekly basis. So from this video, one of the things I'd love to know is how you are or plan to engage with your children around whether it be weekly, monthly, or annual planning, and to let us know what the results of that engagement is. And actually ask your children how they feel about the experience, because I'm absolutely sure that they will love being asked what they think. I'd love to know what the feedback is from the family. Please drop it in the comments below. I look forward to reading it. If you've enjoyed this video, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. What's planning? No, that's not right. I'd love to hear what hold on, start again. No, that's even bad. That's not good. So what was it again? The first bit?